Take 67. It has been over a week since I've done a take. I've been busy with some things, and I've been particularly busy with the Italian community. But I noticed that in the last couple of days or so, that I was receiving upvotes for the last take 66, and I kind of took it as a little message to say, hey, what's up with these Tino takes? Or another way of saying that the Tino takes are starting to capture the attention of other people. And so I decided, well, since my co-host for my Italian Smartcast is pretty busy lately, and we are slowly chipping away at the next episode of Curione Live, I thought to myself, okay, well, I've got me a break today. Not necessarily a break, because technically all week long I've been thinking to myself, Tino, do the Tino take. You got, you're doing the Italian thing. Get some time in and go ahead and do the Tino take, because you do have some issues that you would like to talk about. Apart from the fact that this Tino take is what originated my re-entry back into the world of smart casting, which is a different way of saying podcasting. I won't go into smartcasting now. There are previous episodes in which I go into real detail about what smartcasting is, but obviously one of the functions is one of the benefits is to be able to do a show or transmission within my own time frame when I feel like it and when I have the opportunity to do so. And in the last week, I have had the title up, The Death of DTube, and I've been wanting to do that every day, but not because I particularly feel great about these kinds of subjects. I went through a lot of this with the Hive Steam split, and there was a time period in which every day there was something to be vented for the dissatisfaction that I was feeling with the situation with Hive. But now it seems that some time has passed, and I've had a lot of good experiences with Steemit, so I've been sticking with Steemit for some time now. But the death of DTube is not the idea that anything has happened to DTube. DTube is there. DTube, unfortunately, is dead for me, because I really did not expect to have the experience that I had. It's not a big loss to me, because I was not able to really build up a following there. There were people who followed. There were people who probably were disgruntled by the things that I was saying about D2, but I just couldn't believe what happened to it and what is happening to it. And so it's dead for me. I dropped all my coins. I brought them back into the market and got me a really, really nice exchange. I was able to power up about 500 steam, which is a lot of steam for me. I mean, I remember the days where I was happy to make one steam per week just off of curation because I didn't do much posting. But now that I'm getting a lot of support from people within the community, Steemit team, the Italian community, it's a lot of fun posting now. And I kind of just let my curation just fly off the hinges, because I'm part of two curation trails. But now that I'm approaching about 5,000 steam, which if I remember correctly, historically, and perhaps nowadays, perhaps it's still the same. So you don't see a lot of terms anymore like whale and minnow, and I'm actually happy about all that. But there was the dolphin category was, I believe, 5,000 steam power and beyond, up until there's probably some other category, some other bigger fish. But now that I'm closing in on this 5,000 mark, I'm happy to just let the curation go. I'm happy to just comfortably upvote, being part of curation trails, not putting a limit. I used to stick to the 92% voting power, and there was always the advice to stick to 80%. Don't let it go under 80%, because you want to maximize. And I'm not into all this maximizing and return on investment and all of this jazz. So now that I'm comfortably getting to the point where my votes give rewards, I've decided to unblock this. Now, this may not be in my favor because one of the curation trails that I'm part of, the Travel Nepal curation trail, requires that its participants stay above 80% voting power. At the same time, however, this voting trail also asks its members, its participants, to follow the upvote in scale, not have a fixed, but follow the upvote in a 100% scale. So in other words, if Travel Nepal gives a 100% upvote, Familia Corione will give a 100% upvote. If Travel Nepal gives a 25% upvote, then Familia Corione gives also a 25% upvote. So you scale at a 100%, meaning 100% of whatever Travel Nepal votes is what I will vote. But I remember seeing in the past that the members of this curation club who have a higher percentage or a higher steam power, a high steam power, they don't necessarily vote to scale. So I think now that I'm a member who has a lot of steam power, I don't know. It might give me some privilege or might give me some leeway. But I have decided to no longer honor the 80% rule. I want votes to go out. I want people to be voted on independent of how much voting power I have. I don't like to, if I'm supporting certain people, then I don't want any exceptions. I don't want to find myself going on to Steam it the next day and maybe seeing someone that I support not getting a vote from me. So what I've decided to do is I've just let go of that rule and just go crazy with the votes. And besides, I like to vote on a lot of comments, and I like to give 100% upvotes to people who leave good comments. And I want to have that flexibility. I don't want to have to sit here and worry about, well, I just gave out 10 votes and now my voting power has to regenerate before anybody else gets voted on. So now that I have this large amount of steam power, I can be confident that even if my voting power is 50%, that my vote still carries some weight, and that people will get voted on and will get rewarded. And I don't have to sit there and look at the percentage in order to decide, well, do I want to vote on this or do I not want to vote on this? I want to vote on things that I like to vote on. So I like that freedom. But I got off topic there for a second. The death of DTube. I was talking about the fact that I got about 400 and something, I don't know, 450, 460 Steam for the DTube token that I sold and got myself some Steam and got myself some Steam power. I powered up 500 Steam power, and that was really exciting for me because it's like I said in the past, that was a lot. I'd be fortunate. I was counting millisteam in the past. I was happy if my vote would give me 1 millisteam. So now that the steam is pouring in, steam dollars are pouring in, my steam power is going up, and I'm happy about that. And I can't necessarily say I can thank DTube for that because DTube, I purchased my DTube coins using Steam. So, basically it's like, okay, guys, I want my money back. I'm dissatisfied. You remember the old commercials, satisfaction guaranteed, money back guarantee? Well, yeah, that's what happened. I got my money back plus some because DTube, well, first of all, I was on DTube when it was in the testing phase. And I was really having a good experience. People were giving me nice votes. I was making a lot of DTube coins. And I wasn't there for that. But people were generous. I think I had about 5,000 DTube coins maybe at some stage. And so, but my purpose was not that. That was not my purpose in being there. I really wanted to use the platform to be able to broadcast these smartcasts, to be able to publish these. And I wanted to support DTube because, the founder is an awesome gentleman, Hyman Danger. They have a really great team there, but I was being abused by one of the leaders, which is the equivalent of a witness. This particular witness is farming the system and has a lot of DTube coin, which allows this person to be able to basically downvote people and get paid for it. Just downvote anyone. I never got a justification as to why I was being downvoted. This person actually created a bot to automatically downvote people to zero out their rewards. And not only zero out the rewards, but make it go in, make your vote, you make your voting power go into the negative, because DTube has a different system in which your voting power determines how many coins you could receive. But if your voting power, if you get downvoted by people who have more voting power than what you put into your post, you can actually go into the negative. And if you go into the negative, there's the consequence that your video may not appear to certain people who have set their settings to not see negatively voted videos. In other words, if your voting power goes on a video, you upload a video, you vote on that, because there's an automatic upvote when you post your video. Now, if you, let's say, if you put in 10,000 voting power, somebody can come along and do a downvote for 11,000 voting power, and you're under 1,000. You go down 1,000 into the negative, and your rewards could get zeroed out. But not only that, being in the negative means that your video now can be taken, be placed into a kind of category for people who set their settings to not see negative videos, because you can go into your settings and you can set your settings to not see any videos that are tagged with the not safe for work, which is mostly the pornography. And you can also set your settings to not see videos that won't pop. Your videos will not appear if they are in the negative. So I wasn't making really any DTC. I wasn't really making any coins. So the intention of this person was really to have my videos not appear. No reasoning behind it, no justification behind it. Other people are also doing the same thing, but they are at least giving the justification and saying that they don't want to see people post up content that belongs to someone else. Either your content is original content, or they're going to downvote you and put you into the category where your videos either do not appear at all or they appear blurred. Now, that wasn't the person, that was someone else. Those are other people. The person who was downvoting me gave no justification, just kind of hooked me to a bot. And even though I was uploading original content, I was still getting downvoted. I got to send a massive, big, humongous shout out and show of gratitude to High Touch. High Touch, for those of you who do not know, is responsible for drug wars. Created drug wars, created Fundition, is a Steam witness, is one of the top consensus witnesses of Future Witness. And he is also one of the leaders of the DTube, because in the DTube system, they're called leaders, DTube leaders, which are the equivalent of consensus witnesses. I was really hopeful that I would see him get up into the top 5, but I never saw that happen. But High Touch was one of the first people to begin supporting me when the Avalon blockchain went online, and till the very, very end continued to support me. So I was really, I felt honored, because I got a lot of respect. Oh yeah, he does Steam Scan as well. There's the Steam Scan as well. I mean, the dude is really intelligent, really humble. Yo, he also makes hip hop beats. He probably doesn't know that I know that. A lot of people don't know that, but he hasn't made anything in a long time. Me being a hip hop MC, that's going to catch my attention. So anyway, big, massive shout out to High Touch, who supported me the whole time, but it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough, because this other person was just really determined to have my videos be downvoted, to go into the negative, to have them in essence, they're being censored, because when you engage in an activity that causes someone's post or someone's video to not be seen by other people, the act of not wanting other people to see what you are creating, what you are posting, is a form of censorship. I called it soft censorship, but at some stage it actually turned into hard censorship because this person was doing it to everyone, doing it to all kinds of people. Obviously doing it to people who couldn't really fight back, who couldn't really, didn't have the voting power, didn't have enough coins to be able to fight back. And you know what the fascinating part about all this? He gets rewarded for this. I'm sorry, but DTube just created a system in which you can have this kind of abuse. People can just be abused. Now, you think about that on a small scale, right? What was happening to me and other people was on a small scale. That means it can be scaled up. When abuse can be scaled up, well, then you don't have a future, especially if you're going to claim to be decentralized. I also saw and noticed immediately from the very beginning that there was a formation of a kind of crony capitalism going on. All of this is going on within an environment of people who really want to protect the coin. It's not about the content. It's not about decentralization. It's about the damn coin. It's about this token. And people really are not understanding that if we're going to be really looking for social media alternatives on the blockchain, then we really got to get beyond this mentality that it's all about the coin. If it's not about the content, you will never have success. None of you, not Steemit, not Hive, not DTube. There will never be a successful platform for social media for the sharing of content if content doesn't become the priority. If the token continues to remain the priority, then hey, what do you got? You're gonna have crony capitalism. You're going to have crony capitalism. Those who have the most are going to huddle around in a little corner and say, let's push everybody else out and let's pat each other on the back, because that's essentially what's going on. DTube is garbage. There's nothing relevant. There's nothing interesting on DTube. DTube reminds me now of where YouTube was in the very beginning, when people thought to themselves, like, is anybody really going to take this seriously? You know, people were making little videos of themselves riding a bike or being a jackass jumping into the bushes, you know, little silly shit like that. Of course, YouTube blew up, exploded, but it had resources. It did not depend upon people bringing money into the system. It offered you a quote unquote free platform, which not all, but which we who have been informed know that there's nothing free in Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and all of these so-called platforms that give you free services. They're getting something out of it. But that's not going to happen with DTube, because DTube does not have the structure that YouTube has or Facebook has. So there's not going to be this successful moment in the future where you have mass adoption. You're not going to have mass adoption at DTube. It's just a bunch of little cronies that are sticking together, huddling around this token, and pumping their pom-poms every time something exciting happens with the token. I'm sorry, but you guys are on your deathbed. You're not increasing the number of users. You're not getting good content creators coming into the system. And I'm no longer publishing. I know I'm nobody, but hey, this is my voice that's going out to the Steemit community. And obviously within the Steemit community, people are hearing me out. Guess what? I don't have anything positive anymore to say about DTube. Just like I don't have anything positive to say about Hive. And with that said, throw in D-like. Now remember, those of you who may have been following for a while now, you remember when I closed the door on D-like, that was it. I said, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm done. And that's exactly what I did. Exactly what I did. Cashed out. And no more promotion. And this is the same thing that's happening with DTube. I'm going to close it out there for the DTube issue. And you're not going to hear me talk about it anymore. I will be uploading my Smartcast on YouTube because it's efficient. It's reliable. It's not where I want to stay, but I'm going to be looking into different options. I was recommended SoundCloud. I don't want to use BitChute because BitChute does not, the embed function is not compatible with Steemit. So I'd like to have something that's compatible with Steemit so that when I post it up, people don't have to go to the other website. They can stay within Steemit, see the post, scroll down and comment while they're listening to the show. So, yep. Rest in peace, DTube. Let's go on to the next issue. What do you think about Steemit Awards 2020? Steemit Awards 2020? What's that? What are Steemit Awards? Now, with my co-host on the Italian version of this Smartcast here on Steam It, known as Curione Live. We have the country representative Girolamo Marotta, who we are having a really exciting time with all kinds of ideas. The Italian community has exploded. I mean, it was like 4 or 5 people back in the summer, and now we have just gone beyond 600 people who have joined the community. There's a lot of contests going on. There's a lot of activity. There's a lot that's being offered to non-Italians, and the Italian community is hosting a lot of things. So Girolamo comes at me with, hey, what do you think about Steam It Awards 2020? And I was like, oh, what are you talking about? Steam It Awards? Don't we have enough on our plate at the moment? And I said, don't do this, Giro. Don't do this. But, you know what it is? Girolamo has a weakness. And that weakness is that whenever the Steam It team likes something that he's doing, he feels like he has to go ahead and do it. So I said, listen, it would be an exciting idea, but it will be really difficult to manage. So basically the idea is this: we're coming up to the end of the year very quickly. The new year is just around the corner. I think this is probably a bad time to want to start to do something like this. So his idea was, well, why don't we look at 2020 and look at what has happened to Steam It, and let's imagine a kind of reward ceremony for like the best user, the best curator, the best country representative, the best consensus witness, and these different kinds of categories. Now, it's an amazing idea, but I quickly pointed out how difficult it would be, number one, to organize it in such a short amount of time when we have so many other things that we're organizing at the moment. Essentially, what the idea would be was to create categories, which he already did. And the link is there if you want to go check it out. And what he really, this was supposed to be a proposal that he wanted to give to the Steam It team. If the Steam It team thought it was a good idea, then they can go ahead and run with it. I knew that the Steam It team was not going to take this proposal and run with it, but rather that they were going to reflect it back and say, hey, Girolamo, why don't you do it and get yourself some people together in order to help you? And that's exactly what the Steam It team did. And I warned him. I said, Girolamo, don't do this because I'm not going to be participating in this. We have too much on the plate at the moment. The other problem, of course, is how do you choose the candidates? We don't have a really nice, reliable system for voting outside of upvotes in the Steam It system. So he wants to go forward with this. I'm going to be more of an advisor. I've created a different kind of voting system which allows you to vote in the comment section under a post. But that is, it's in development phase. People, people don't really, like, we're doing Dear Steamians, Welcome to My Country right now. And a lot of people don't get the idea that, in order to vote on a post, you vote by placing an image in the comment section, which is basically the Steam symbol with a thumbs up on it, kind of like the Facebook like button. And some people are doing it, other people are not. It's a new idea. It's an innovative idea. And it's a different type of voting system. I don't know if this would work for Steam It Awards 2020, because first and foremost, you have to nominate people. And I don't know if there's enough time. If this is to be done by January, I don't know if there's enough time to really get the word out there and really get people participating, because, well, number one, you have a lot of different languages to deal with. You have a lot of different communities that you have to deal with. And you would have to have the full participation of the entire community, the entire Steam It community, in order for there to be some real fairness. And how do you pick the best user of the year? How do you pick the best witness of the year if you do not have the full participation of the entire community? It could be started. Maybe it's something that could be dabbled around with this year and then better organized for the end of next year. I mean, it's an exciting idea. I mean, it's really nice. It's a really interesting idea. In the evolution of everything else that's happening on Steam It, this is a really nice addition if something like this could be really organized on a grand scale where people, can't wait to reach the end of the year. You have some kind of system that allows you to determine who's the best user, who's the best curator, who's the best witness, who's the best country representative. Obviously, you would want to have as democratic of a system as possible. Nominations. See, that's what we need. If Girolamo is to make this work, there has to be the initial phase of nomination, in which you have all of these categories, which he's already selected. You also need to allow for people to add other categories that could be added to the list. The second phase would be to get the nominations, let people nominate who they feel, and then once those people are nominated, then you have to have a voting system, which allows you to vote on the people who are nominated. That's not easy. That's not easy. And as the Steam It team pointed out, we don't have D-polls now. I went and checked because I remember that the Symbionts crew, one of the consensus witnesses, had wanted to resurrect D-polls, but I just went to go check and it's not online. So as they correctly said, D-polls isn't around. So that's not an option. So how do you create an option for this? And unfortunately, it is my opinion that this is bad timing. We have other projects going on. When the new year comes in and Dear Steamians, Welcome to My Country is finished, we're looking to hopefully organize Steam's Got Talent. And then there's other ideas that we're working with. We're playing around with. I myself have the Tino take. I have Curione Live. I've created a new community for Steam Links, which is awesome. I'm loving the Steam Links. It's mostly myself and Steam Palmer and a couple of people from the Italian community, as well as a gentleman from the Nigerian community, who are sharing links. There's no promise of rewards. It's just a place where if you want to share some links of articles and posts from other sites, much like you do on the other social media platforms, then that's a place where you can do it. Whether you get rewarded or not, it's up to the people who look at your link and say, okay, wow, I really like that, and upvote it. I'm mostly upvoting everyone because it's more like a participatory, I'm thanking people for upvoting. I'm thanking people for contributing within the community. But at some stage when more and more people come in, because I'm not promoting it, I'm not saying much about it, I'm just letting it be there, but I'm noticing that people are upvoting. I'm noticing that people are joining the community without any advertisement, without any promotion. So, the number of people who are joining the community are increasing, and the number of people who are whose attention is being captured by the links that are being shared by myself and others, it's causing the community to grow even more. So I've got those things going on, but Plus, I've been really thinking a lot about creating another SmartCast, which would be dedicated to the gene codes, because those of you who may have been following this for some time, if you see the post, look at that long list of gene codes there. And it's been sitting there for a while, and I haven't been able to really get to any of the gene codes because there's always something new and exciting that's happening on Steemit. Recently, there was the conference. I saw bits and pieces of it. I was mainly interested in seeing the managing director, Elizabeth Powell, but I didn't catch that. Hopefully somewhere that's archived, and because I'd like to catch the pieces that are relevant to Steam and Steemit. So whenever that comes out, I want to check that out and then obviously give my feedback on that. But, the TRX integration, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. So I never really have an opportunity during the Tino take to actually get to some of the gene codes. But because there's such a long list there, and I could make it, twice as long with all of the different things, because that's where my real passion is in the study of human nature, personality, typology, and things of this nature. So I'm considering doing that as well. But, there's a lot on the table. So the idea of Steemit Awards 2020, it's complicated. As complicated as it is, it just would not be the right moment for me to actually be able to dedicate some time and energy to it. I can advise, and I will advise, and this is something that we're definitely going to be talking about in the Italian broadcast, SmartCast, which the list of subjects that we need to talk about on Curione Live is starting to get long as well. So listen, the link is there if you want to share your ideas, if you want to participate, if you want to give some feedback about what you think about the Steam It Awards 2020. If you want to nominate some people, if you want to add some categories, the link is there. Leave your comments, and Girolamo will definitely get back to you because he is really excited about this idea. Now, the next, I want to touch on 200% Power Up Week 2. Week 1 went well. Girolamo Marotta, the Italian representative, the country representative for Italy, noticed that the spike in the rise in SBD, our Steam dollar, has obviously created an advantage for us to be able to power up 200%. He calls it power up 200%, but the idea is that if you power up 100%, if you set your post to power up 100%, you'll get 100% in Steam power. However, at the moment, the Steam dollar market is just going crazy. I mean, I looked again today. I saw it go down to about $2.50. I looked today and it's above $3. You know, I thought to myself, this is going to keep going down, but it's continuing to pump. It's continuing to go up. And as a result of that, if you set your reward payout to be 50-50, 50% Steam power and 50% Steam dollars, when you take those Steam dollars within the internal market and you convert them and then you power up those Steam that you have converted, you actually get about 200%. I mean, you get a really stronger. If you're interested in Steam power, if you're interested in getting your Steam power up, then this is the way to go. So the first week we had the Italian community mostly participate. Now this has caught the attention of some other people. So the Steam It team has told Girolamo, go ahead and go for second week, and they will offer their support in the way of rewards at the end of the week. So now how this works out is that you basically, when you get first of all, you need to set your post to 50-50. Most of you already have that automatically set like that. At the end of the week, at the end of the 7 days, starting from now, when your posts pay out, what you do is you claim your Steam power and Steam dollars. You then convert your Steam dollars into Steam, and then whatever amount you get for those Steam dollars, you power that up. These are the steps that you have to take in order to be able to qualify. Then what you do is you take a screenshot of those actions. So you'll have the claim, you'll have the conversion, and then you'll have the power up. All three of those activities have to be within the screenshot. You post that screenshot up into the post. The link is there. The link that's in this Tino take is 200%. It's called 200% Power Up Week 2. Go to that link and go into the comment section and upload that image of the screenshot showing that you have followed these instructions of claiming your rewards, converting your Steam dollars into Steam, and powering up those Steam that you get from those Steam dollars. Girolamo then makes a calculation to determine how much more Steam power you've gained by having had this 50-50 rather than the 100% power up. So in essence, it's to encourage people to power up their Steam and to earn more Steam power by choosing this option so long as the Steam dollar market is strong. Now, I see this as advantageous for those of us who want to create and want to build up our Steam power. It is not advantageous for those who want to start building up their TRX. Because if you want to build up your TRX, it is more advantageous to you to set your post to 100% power up. Because then when you 100% power up, you'll get all of your rewards in Steam power, and you will get a matching amount of rewards in TRX. So that is what's going on, people. There's so much more that could be talked about, but I'm not going to go any further at this point. We are approaching about 35 minutes. That feels comfortable for me. I got 3 subjects in. I got a Tino take in. I really want to show my gratitude to all of the people who are coming on board. There's a lot of people who are voting on the Tino take who are not part of an automatic upvote. They're not part of a curation trail. Like I said, in the last couple of days, I've been getting votes from people who, on the 5th day, on the 6th day. So it's not automatic votes. It's people who are actually finding this Tino take and voting on it. And that encouraged me and it inspired me to say, okay, the Tino take is now about to expire, take 66. It's time for me to do another take. So I said, I got to do this today because I think it was yesterday that take 66 finally got paid out. Got paid out nice. And I did a 200% power up as Girolamo suggested. And I think I powered up about 174 steam power, which really it should have been I got like 60 something steam power, but with the conversion of the steam dollar into steam, I ended up powering up another 170 something steam power. And I'm getting closer and closer to the 5,000 mark, and I'm really happy about that. So and there's a lot of people hitting the follow button, so I'm excited about that too. More and more people are following my profile, and I'm doing my best to put up these smartcasts and to share links, really interesting links in the Steam Links community, which obviously pops up in my profile. Remember that if you're sharing links within the Steam Links community, it's going to appear in your profile, and it's a sign of your character. It's a sign, it shows what you're interested in and what you are interested in sharing with your followers. We're here not only to create good posts, but to share good information with the people who take the time to follow you. This is why I created Steam Links, because I wanted to be able to share links that are really great links from people who I really respect, admire, and trust to give us really good quality information. So I'm going to end it there. I want to thank everyone for the support, and I want to thank you all very much for listening. Hopefully we will hear from one another very soon in another Tino take, and I won't wait 7 days this time. I will I will pick up the pace because there is a lot that's going on. Okay? Until the next take, thanks again for listening.